What's up, Cowboys Nation? Oh man, buckle up because I've got some absolutely earth-shattering news coming straight out of the NFL. And I promise this is not clickbait, this is not a drill. George Pickens is coming to Dallas. Yes, you heard that right, the sensational wide receiver who's been lighting up Pittsburgh with his acrobatic catches, explosive plays, and undeniable swagger is now set to wear the iconic silver and blue. This move just might be one of the most exciting and shocking trades in recent Cowboys history, and it's sending a tidal wave through the league. So today, we're diving deep into what this means for the Cowboys, how this shakes up the NFC East, what we can expect from Pickens in the Cowboys' offensive system, and why you should be beyond hyped for what's coming next. Let's set the stage here. George Pickens, the former second-round pick out of Georgia, has been a standout performer for the Steelers, even on a team that's been offensively inconsistent. Despite playing in a somewhat limited passing system with a young quarterback, Pickens has still managed to shine thanks to his elite body control, vertical threat ability, and some of the nastiest highlight reel catches you've seen all season. Remember that one-handed grab he made in double coverage last year? Yeah, the dude's got glue for hands and hops like a kangaroo on rocket fuel. He's built for the big moments, and now he's landing in Dallas, a franchise with Super Bowl ambitions, a top-tier defense, and now, potentially, one of the scariest receiver duos in the league. It's no secret the Cowboys have been missing that next-level spark at wide receiver. Sure, CeeDee Lamb has emerged as a WR1, but imagine pairing him with a guy like Pickens, someone who can stretch the field, create separation with physicality, and punish defenses that try to key in on Lamb. This move will force defensive coordinators to pick their poison. You want to double Lamb? Cool, Pickens is gonna torch your second corner. Try to press Pickens at the line? Good luck. He'll beat that press coverage with his violent hands and burst into his route like a freight train. And it's not just about the highlight plays, either. This is a player who plays with grit, emotion, and edge. That swagger he brings? It's infectious. And in a locker room like Dallas where leadership and momentum matter down the stretch, Pickens could be a huge X-factor. Now let's talk about the Cowboys' offensive system and how he fits in. Mike McCarthy's offense is built around spacing, precision, and creating mismatch opportunities. With Dak Prescott under center, we've seen how he can be lethal when given the time and targets. Adding Pickens gives Doc a new weapon who can win those contested 50-50 balls, run the deep post with speed, and even work the sideline like a seasoned vet. If you watched any Steelers games last season, you saw how often he bailed out Kenny Pickett with absurd sideline grabs, adjusting mid-air, tiptoeing the boundary, and showing an awareness well beyond his years. Insert that skill set into Dallas offense? Yeah, it's going to open up the playbook in a big way. Not only does this make Doc better, it also takes pressure off of Lamb, Gallup, Ferguson, and even Tony Pollard, who now has more room to operate with defenses forced to respect the deep ball threat. Picture this 3-road-and-8 game on the line. You've got Lamb running a deep in route, Pickens going vertical on the outside, and Gallup or Ferguson working underneath. Defenses can't cover everyone. Someone is going to be open, and with the chemistry that Doc and Lamb already have, plus Pickens' ability to instantly contribute, the Cowboys just went from a good offense to a potential top 5 unit. And look, we haven't even touched on the mentality Pickens brings to the field. He's a dog, plain and simple. A player with that chip on his shoulder, that fire, that all-out work you attitude is exactly the kind of guy you want on your side when the playoffs roll around. He plays like every snap is personal, like he's got something to prove every time he lines up, and let's be honest, that fits the Dallas Cowboys culture like a glove. Think about it, this is a franchise that thrives on energy, on headlines, on big names doing big things under bright lights. Pickens? He's built for prime time. Whether it's Sunday Night Football, a Thanksgiving Day classic, or a playoff run at Jerry World, George Pickens is going to be must-watch television. Let's shift gears for a moment and consider the ripple effects this trade could cause across the league. The NFC East just got put on notice. The Eagles, Giants, and Commanders will now have to account for not just Lamb, but Pickens too. That's a nightmare. And in a conference where matchups are everything and seeding can come down to a single game, this acquisition might be what tips the scale in Dallas' favor. For teams like San Francisco and Philadelphia, who've had the Cowboys' number in recent seasons, this forces them to prepare for a completely different Dallas offense, more vertical, more unpredictable, more explosive. And let's not forget what this means in the locker room. You bring in a talent like Pickens and it elevates the standard. Other players are going to raise their game. It creates healthy competition, fuels practice intensity, and sends a message that the front office is going all in. That kind of signal, especially in the middle of a season, can galvanize a team. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Cowboys move without controversy. Some fans and analysts are already speculating about how Pickens will mesh with the existing culture. Will there be ego clashes? Will he get the targets he wants? Will he buy into the team-first mentality? But honestly, if you followed his journey, you know Pickens is a competitor first. Yes, he's passionate and fiery, but that's what you want. Great teams know how to channel that energy into production. Think of the great receivers in NFL history, Moss, T.O. Dez, they all played with that edge. It's about how you manage it, and Dallas has the veteran presence and coaching staff to do just that. Doc is a strong locker room leader. McCarthy has handled big personalities before. And if this offense clicks the way it can, everyone's going to be eating, which tends to solve a lot of problems. So, what did the Cowboys give up in this blockbuster deal? According to insiders, the trade included a 2nd round pick and a future conditional 4th rounder, along with possibly a depth player on the defensive side. Now that's not cheap, but let's be real here. You're getting a 23-year-old wide receiver with Pro Bowl upside who is still on his rookie deal. That's a steal in today's market. You don't just find George Pickens types in every draft. Most years you're hoping your pick turns into a guy like him. So yes, the price tag might sting a little bit in the short term, but for a franchise trying to win now, this is the kind of aggressive move you make. You don't wait around hoping things will click, you go out and make it happen. And folks, that's exactly what Jerry Jones just did. He swung big, and he just might have hit a home run. Cowboys fans should be ecstatic about what's coming next. If you're not hyped yet, I don't know what to tell you. This is the most exciting mid-season move Dallas has made in years. And with the playoffs around the corner, the stars are aligning literally and figuratively. I'm talking January football, home field advantage, Doc dropping dimes, Lamb and Pickens going off, the defense wreaking havoc, and maybe, just maybe, a trip to the big dance. We'll see how this all unfolds, but make no mistake, the Cowboys just made a statement to the entire league. They're not just here to compete, they're here to dominate. And George Pickens might be the missing piece that takes them all the way. So hit that like button if you're hyped for this move, drop a comment below with your thoughts on Pickens joining America's team, and don't forget to subscribe because this season is about to get crazy. I'll be here breaking it all down, game by game, play by play, because if this move is any indication, the Cowboys are all in. Let's ride, Dallas. Let's ride.